Alrighty. So the Not Your Daughter's Yoga class, we're going to use lots of props today. So a strap, a block, and a chair. And it can be your kitchen chair, your dining room chair, a folding chair, whatever is close by. But we're going to set this chair, let's set the chair to the front edge of your mat, but kind of, off the mat a bit. We're not going to use it right away. And you can set the strap and the block over there as well. And then have a seat somewhere on your mat. And this is for Mila, because I know Mila likes to settle at the beginning of her practice. She likes to start in Sukhasana. Am I right, Mila? Is that a thumbs up? Yeah. So we do vary the way we start, but sitting in Sukhasana is just a nice way to kind of ground and to calm our mind and our body. So closing your eyes here, rooting up through the sits bones, using that inhale to grow taller. I'm going to stay quiet for several breaths here, and I just want you to tune into your own breath. Maybe keeping your eyes closed. See if you can lengthen your breath by one count on the inhale and one count on the exhale. Trying to even out the length of your inhale and your exhale. Before we get started, I want you just to kind of notice how you feel here in your easy pose, in your Sukhasana. And just kind of make yourself aware of what's going on in the mind and the body. Perhaps you're feeling anxious this morning. Maybe your breath is not quite under control yet. And then slowly, let's just blink our eyes open. And we're going to reach our arms out to the sides, stem through the fingertips, and reach all the way up to the ceiling. So lengthening the body. And then exhale, just gently let those arms float down. Just like a balloon is deflating. So inhale, reach up. Whatever count was working for you, exhale, lowering. You want to be somewhere between a 3 and a 4 count. Inhale. And a 3 or 4 count exhale. We'll just do this 2 more times and just stay to the rhythm of your breath. Last time. Perfect. And then take your, doesn't matter which hand, but left or right hand, and reach it out to the side, put a little bend into the elbow. And we're just gonna side bend from side to side, finding that same pattern of breath. So the inhale, reach the arm up, the exhale, side bend. Roughly 3-4 count breath. Keep it nice and slow so that you can kind of deepen the pose. One more time each side. And let's bring our palms down to the top of our knees. And we're gonna go through that nice slow count, seated cat and cow. So on your inhale, you're lifting your chest, lifting your gaze, squeezing your elbows in towards your rib cage. And then on your exhale, rocking the hips back, chin to chest for cat pose. And again, trying to just shoot for a 3 to 4 count breath. One more round here. And then sitting up nice and tall. And we just want to kind of work through some twists. So the same kind of pattern of breath. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Doesn't matter which way you twist. Exhale, twist. Try to use that full 3-4 count to twist. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, slowly letting that breath out. Deepening your twist on the exhale. Inhale to make some room in the rib cage. Exhale to twist. Just moving here, yoking your movement with your breath. And then we'll just do one more round. And then we're going to take our hands to the heart space and just pause here in our Anjali Mudra. And perhaps bring an intention to your practice. So these crazy days of COVID, and it's just kind of nice to kind of set an intention. And then slowly release the hands. We're going to take the right leg out in front of us, flex the ankle. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And on your exhale, hinge and fold forward. So letting the arms soften on either side of your legs and really feel that you're hinging here right there at the hips. So like the hips were literally a hinge and you have a straight line meeting out from the hip through the heel and from the hip through the crown of the head. Next inhale, reach the arms up, nice. And then we're gonna take a twist to the left or to that bent knee. Take the hand down from the leg and fold forward. So staying revolved open here. And reaching all the way up with this left hand and setting it right by your left hip. We're gonna come to a knee down wild thing. So you're basically using that whole shin as support, lift the hips and extend that right arm up. Keep pressing the hips forward. And then slowly exhale, lowering back down. And then we're just going to take a little counter twist to the right. Perfect. All right, go ahead and switch the legs out. So flexing the left leg, reaching the arms up on the inhale, and exhale, hinge and fold. So as much as you can have a straight back here, try for that. If you feel too much stretch going on in your back, and just come up a little higher and extend through the crown of the head. Keep flexing your left ankle, drawing the toes towards you to feel that length in the hamstrings. And next inhale, reach the arms up. Twist to the right towards that bent knee. Left hand comes down and side bend. So, or forward fold. It's the left shoulder that's reaching towards the left knee. Stay revolved open and really lengthen through this right arm. So it's starting to come parallel with that extended left leg. And as you inhale, reach that right arm up. Beautiful. Take it back to the right hip. So tuck it in right close to the hip and then knee down wild thing. Lift the hips up. So ideally your shoulders stacked right over that right hand and wrist. And then exhale, slowly lower. Perfect. And we're going to take both legs out in front of us. So we're going to try just for a nice hinging forward fold. So reach the arms up. And we want to stay really honest with ourselves here and hinge right at that hip joint. So keep the chest long, lead with the heart, extend through the fingertips. And when you don't feel like you can hinge any farther, then you can bring the hands down to the mat on either side of the shins. And so just taking a little bit of honesty here in your practice. It's really not about how far you can fold. Take a couple more breaths. And then extend the fingertips up. Beautiful. Take the hands down. We're going to bring them just right behind us. Point the toe or the toes. Point the fingertips towards your sitting bones. So you're not quite in Dandasana. You've got your arms back just a little farther. Then we're going to bend the knees, and we're just going to come up to a little reverse tabletop. So just slowly lift the hips up and maybe look up at the ceiling. Keep lifting the hips. You're going to feel a nice stretch in the shoulders here. And exhale, slowly lower, tuck the chin to the chest. And then we're going to just kind of come forward onto hands and knees. We're going to end up doing cat and cow about 4 different ways today. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart, our traditional cat and cow. Exhale, round the spine. And inhale, lift the heart again, cow pose. See if you can shoot for that 3 or 4 count breath. Giving plenty of time for all the vertebrae to move. One more round here. And then take the hips back to the heels. Press away with the bases of all 10 fingers. See if you can collapse the front of your body onto your thighs for child's pose. Forehead reaches down to the mat. And next inhale, come on up to hands and knees. We're going to step that right foot forward and tuck the left toes under. We're just kind of come into a lunge here. So you want to keep that right knee right over the ankle. And then see if you can just hover the fingertips over the mat. So we're just starting to use the core muscles. Find your balance. Make sure that your legs are in 2 railroad tracks. If that left leg is, literally in that tightrope, you're going to feel a little less balanced here. Take your fingertips forward, and then inhale. We're just going to slowly rise up to a high lunge. Perfect. And then on your exhale, take your hands down to the mat. See if you can plant your hands fully down to the mat and just take that right leg back to a down dog. So being our first down dog, feel free to pedal the legs out, bending one knee, straightening the other. And if there's any other movement you want to take in your down dog, you can rise up on your tippy toes and wave forward to plank, back to down dog. And then slowly with control, bring your knees down to the mat. We're going to step that left foot forward, tuck the right toes under, hover the fingertips. So really, I have a new appreciation for this lunge here and how much core work is going on. When you just kind of pause here, you're not down into your lunge, you're not up into your high lunge. Lengthen through the fingertips and slowly root up to your high lunge. Drop your shoulders into their joints. Extend the fingertips upwards. And then on your exhale, hands plant to the mat. Step back, down dog. Maybe find stillness this time in your down dog. Root the heels towards the mat. They don't have to touch. Make sure you have just a tiniest of bend into the knees, just to give a little bit more energy to the spine. And then look up to your hands and take as many steps forward that you need to come to a forward fold. Make sure that the feet are hip distance apart. You can reach your hands to the opposite elbows. Kind of framing your head here. Keep that soft knee bend. Your chest is reaching towards your thighs. So as much of a knee bend you need to do to bring that chest closer to your thighs. And let the head and the shoulders hang heavy. Inhale, let's lengthen up halfway. Beautiful. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. We'll come all the way up to standing. Perfect. Lower the hands to the heart space. All right. We're going to go ahead and just gently get involved with our chair. So just bringing your chair to maybe the edge of your mat. And I want us to have a seat at the tip of that chair. Perfect. And look down at your knees and your feet. You want that perfect seated stance here where you've got all these 90-degree angles, 90 degrees at the hips, 90 degrees at the knees, and maybe 90 degrees at the ankles. Inhale, reach up. Take a full inhale. And on your exhale, twist to the right. So your left hand's going to go to that right knee, and your hand's going to reach back to the back of that chair. Look over that right shoulder. And then inhale, reach up. And then exhale, take a twist to the left. And just kind of using the back of that chair as a lever. I love this. All right, inhale, reach up. Okay, now exhale, take the hands down to the top of the knees. If we have 90 at the hips, 90 at the knees, and 90 at the feet, I want us to try to stand up. And I think we all can do it, but I just want you guys to notice maybe how difficult it might be with our feet being this far out. So keep your feet planted and see if you can lift up to standing. Perfect. Okay, now this is a key. We're going to bring the hands down to the heart space. I'm going to sit back like we're going to sit in a chair. And go ahead with control, bring that booty back down to the chair. Okay, we're going to see if we can make this much easier by taking the feet back to where they're not in 90 degrees at the knees and the hips anymore. And now maybe press the palms together and just stand straight up. Isn't that amazingly easier? Now exhale, bring the hands to the heart space and have another seat with control coming back down. Awesome. Okay, now we're going to make it nearly impossible by taking the legs out straight. Now you're going to get some kind of big surprise if you can stand from here. So I don't know if I can, you can walk your feet in a little, but here, can you shift your weight enough and then come to standing? And then exhale, take the hands down to the heart space. Reach the booty back. Can you come back to the chair? Good job. All right, exhale, release. Okay, hands to the top of the knees. You can walk your feet to where they're in that 90, 90, 90 again. We're going to go through that cat-cow. So this is our third variety of cat and cow. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the gaze. And then on your exhale, rock the hips back, hold on to the knees. Moving with your breath, shooting for that 3 to 4 count inhale and 3 to 4 count exhale. So you're bringing the back towards the back of your chair. And if you're sitting at the tip of the chair, that's a good distance back there. So hollowing the belly, navel to the spine, chin to the chest. Can you touch your back to the chair? One more round. Inhale. And exhale. Perfect. All right. Inhale. Sit up nice and tall. Let's take the knees even wider. So almost as wide as you're comfortable, and you're still sitting on the tip of that chair. And you really should feel those sit bones grounding. And you guys are going to be happy that I'm not facing the camera here, right? All right, so we're going to inhale, reach the arms up. We're going to press through the feet, but we're going to start to hinge forward. So lengthening through the fingertips, hinge, hinge, hinge. Keep hinging. Maybe you can fold all the way down, hands to the floor. Try to keep the spine nice and long here as much as possible. And then root through the feet. We're just going to lift the arms back up. So the slower you go with this forward fold, the more control you're going to have in your core. So again, hinge forward, lengthen through the fingertips, gazes down at the ground. Maybe you just hover here for a moment. Arms are parallel to the mat. Maybe you take them down to the mat, folding a little deeper. And next inhale, root up. Perfect. And now take the hands to the heart space. Now, perhaps a little humbling for most of us, we're going to take those legs out in front of us, straight. Now you can point the toes because I want you to try to plant the feet in. Inhale, reach up. Now our forward fold is going to be a little bit more limited because these hip bones get kind of in the way of our forward fold. So, but you're trying for that same lengthening of the spine, fingertips forward, maybe just hover, and you may or may not be able to take the hands to the mat. You may not get as deep as you could when those femur bones were out of our way. Inhale, come on up. Maybe 2 more times like we did on the other forward fold. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, reach up. Core work. Last time, exhale, hinge and fold. Navel to the spine. Lengthen through the arms, through the crown of the head. And last time, inhale, come on up. All right, exhale. We're going to come to standing now. And we're going to face the seat of that chair. Okay. Step back with your right leg. And let's just come up into a high lunge. So you can come up onto the back, right toes, lift that heel. Legs are ideally in 2 track lines. Now from our high lunge, we're going to come into one of my favorite poses, which is Warrior 3. So we're going to take our hands to the seat of that chair and extend that right leg up. And work on drawing that right hip bone and toes to face the mat. So we don't want to be opened up out to the side. And then perhaps you take one arm forward, maybe to the top of the chair, maybe to the top of the chair. Maybe you can interlace the fingers, coming to a full warrior three. And then we're going to step back, right toes to the mat. Come back up to your high warrior. Lunge pose. All right, exhale, take both hands down to the mat. Step forward with that right foot and just kind of forward fold here. Maybe even bring the forehead down to the chair seat. And then press into the hands, and we're going to walk the feet back. So this is just a nice down dog with the hands on the seat of the chair. Root the hips back, slight bend to the knees. Really feel the length in the spine, the opening into the shoulders. Should feel wonderful. And then on your inhale, step forward, slight bend to the knees, root all the way up to standing, and lower the hands to the heart space. So we'll step back with that left foot, 2 track lines, coming into high lunge. So ideally that right knee is right over the ankle. And then you're going to take those hands to the chair seat, extend through the left heel. You can straighten that standing leg and work on bringing the left hip bone to face the mat. And then whenever you're ready, you can reach those arms forward, maybe one at a time. Maybe they come to the back of the chair first. Gazes down to keep a nice long spine. Exhaling, stepping back to your lunge. You can reach the arms up for lunge. Now exhale, take the hands to the seat. Maybe just take that right leg back. Once again, our down dog with the hands on the seat of the chair. Just take a couple breaths here, lengthening the spine. Gaze is somewhere down at the mat. Perfect. And then step up with your right foot and take your left foot and turn it out to the left so that the feet are now perpendicular. We're going to rise up to warrior two. Gaze is over the right fingertips. Right knee is right over the ankle. Now, I know many of you can do half moon pose without the chair, so feel free to come into half moon with or without the chair. Today, I'm going to take my right hand to the chair seat, float the left leg up, the left arm up, ideally stacking the shoulders here. Now, if you've got this and you want to try to come into a pose that we call poet's pose, we slowly release the weight on this bottom right hand and we lift that hand up to our heart. Just an option. You want to challenge yourself. And then the hand comes back to the chair. Slowly with control, step back, warrior two. All right, so now this is just a little what we call a chair vinyasa. Take the hands to the seat of the chair, step back, down dog, lengthening the spine. Breathing here. And then we'll take the left foot forward. So don't step too close to the chair. You should have this left foot about a foot away from the chair. And cartwheel the arms open. Or your warrior two on the other side, gazes over the left middle finger, lower the shoulders away from your ears. When you're ready, you're going to reach that left palm to the chair and reach the right leg up, stack the shoulders. Keep opening the hips, keeping the shoulders and the hips stacked. And if you want to turn this into a little more of a balanced pose, you can lighten this left hand and perhaps bring it up to your heart space for poet's pose. And step back when you're ready. Warrior two. Cartwheel the hands to the seat of the chair. Step back for your down dog. Root the hips back. Take another breath here. Slight bend to the knees. And then take your hands down to the mat. Walk your hands towards your feet to a forward fold. Maybe a little rock here, side to side, just swaying, shaking the head yes, shake the head no. Inhale, come on up halfway, hands to the top of the knees. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, coming all the way up top. Hands meet overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart space. All right, so this is our fourth version of cat and cow. So we're gonna slight bend to the knees, put your hands just on the top of your thighs here. So just right above the kneecaps. You're gonna inhale, straighten the arms, lift the heart, lift the chest. And then exhale, draw the navel to the spine, chin to the chest, standing cat pose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. And just working back and forth in our standing cat and cow. One more round. Still going for that 3 to 4 count breath. And as last time, root all the way up and take the arms overhead. And we're going to take the right hand over to the left wrist and get that nice deep side bend. Inhale, come on up. Switch your grip, side bend the other direction. And inhale, coming up. Exhale, hands to the heart space. All right, we're going to part ways with our chair. Go ahead and move that off your mat. And grab your strap and your block. And I know some of us already have a loop in our strap. So if you already have that loop, go ahead and keep it there. If not, make one, about a foothold. And then we're gonna come on down to hands and knees. Walk the arms forward to a puppy pose. See if you can feel that same stretch in the shoulders and the spine that we did when we were in that down dog with the chair. Pressing away with the bases of all 10 fingers, rooting the hips back. Really strong shoulders. Opening the armpits towards the mat. And then inhale, start to lift the chest. You can walk your hands back just maybe 3 or 4 inches. Take the hips forward to a low plank. Squeeze the elbows towards your rib cage and slowly lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, we're going to peel up to a dancing cobra. So we're going to lift up through the heart space And then we're going to look over that right shoulder. See if you can get a glimpse of your right foot. And exhale, lower. Keep squeezing the elbows into your rib cage. Peel up, inhale. Try not to straighten the arms here. This is all back work. Dancing cobra, look over your left shoulder. See if you can press the tops of the feet to the mat here. Now that we can see them, right? Exhale, lower. And then inhale, tuck your toes under. Let's see if we can muscle our way up to a full plank. If that's not working for you, you can keep the knees down. Nice strong plank here just for a moment. Slight bend of the knees. Come on back to down dog. Root the hips back and away. And let's step the right foot forward towards the right hand. And then take your right hand on the inside of that right foot, dip your left knee down. You're just going to come into a little lizard pose. So this is where the block might come in handy. You can put that block underneath the hands and root up here just a little bit. If you want, you can come on down to your forearms. You can still use that block for under your forearms if you'd like. And then coming back to your hands here for a moment, start to wiggle that forward foot across your mat. Just angling the shin across your mat so that you're letting that right knee drop down to the mat. And your right knee is approximately right behind that right wrist. If you want, you can shift that block to underneath the right hip for pigeon pose. And you can fold forward or come to forearms, extend through the crown of the head. What might feel wonderful here is to put the thumbs right there to support the forehead so that those thumbs are right there at the third eye. Just a nice little pressure point. Nice easy breath. And then very slowly walk yourself up. You can take that block out of the way. Let's step back, down dog. If you want here, you can pedal the legs out. Might feel good after pigeon. And then step the left foot forward next to that left hand. Left hand comes on the inside of that left foot. You dip the right knee down, coming into lizard on this other side. So whatever works for you. You can stay up on your hands. You can walk your hands forward. You can come down onto forearms. You can use block. Just getting into those hips. And then slowly, using the hands to support you, wiggle. Take your time wiggling this left foot across your mat, angling the shin across the mat. Make sure that that left knee stays wide, just behind the left wrist. You can shift the block over to the left hip if you'd like, and then folding forward. Maybe you reach the arms long if you can lower that far, or you can stay up onto your forearms. Thumbs can come to the forehead, the third eye, helping you to bring focus to your pose, to your life. And then coming back up, you can move that block out of the way. And let's just step back, this time to plank. You can come to low plank if you'd like, and then slowly lower chaturanga style all the way to the belly. And then we're gonna come on up to our forearms. You're gonna bend that right knee, and then you're gonna reach back with that loop, put it onto the right foot. And then just kind of hold on to that strap, maybe angle the elbow forward. And option for bow pose to push the foot away into that strap. Just an option, feel that energy into the back. Another option would be to take this left arm forward. You can even put that left hand on top of the block if you want a little extra support. And then go ahead and release. Take the strap away from the foot. Go ahead and lay all the way down to the mat. Turn your cheek one way or the other. Bend the knees. And just rock the shins from side to side, just releasing that low back. After that back bend. And then we'll rise back up to our forearms. And that left foot, reach back, loop the strap to the foot. Hold on to that strap. Angle the elbow forward. Push the strap, a foot into the strap for half bow on this other side. Option to take the right arm forward, half bow. And you can come to forward on the ground or the block as well. And go ahead and release. And come back to the belly, draping the arms alongside your hips. You can bend the knees again if you want to just twist gently here, or you can just kind of wiggle. Wiggling here, rocking the hips side to side. Just releasing any tension in that lower back. All right. Choose a side to just kind of inch your way over as far as you can, to either the left or the right side. Reach your arms overhead. We're going to roll all the way over onto our backs. And we're going to go ahead and hug those knees into the chest. And maybe just a little rock here, side to side. Extend through the crown of the head. If you want, you can draw your forehead up to the knees, gauging that core. Exhale, release. You can set the feet down to the mat. You can take a couple of twists here. Just winding down our practice. Until wiping the knees from side to side. And then we'll begin to make our way into Shavasana, but if there's a pose that you want to take before that happens, feel free to do it. You can do a happy baby pose, reaching the hands to the outside of the pinky toe sides of the feet. You can come into a bridge or a shoulder stand. You can Continue to twist. Just a little yoga free time. Want to do any final movements here, engaging the core, hugging the knees to your chest, and then eventually just lengthening onto your mat for Shavasana, taking some time here to situate the shoulder blades. Take the arms away from your sides just a little bit. See if you can turn the palms up. Maybe take the feet apart and let go of those thigh muscles and just see if the feet will just kind of fall open to the sides here just a little bit. And the last thing would be just to let go of that breath. With that 3 or 4 count breath that you were controlling the whole practice, just go back to its normal sequence of breath, taking it off your radar. And very slowly begin to invite movement back to your body. And just take your time here, wiggling fingers and toes. You can stretch long on your mats. You can hug your knees to your chest. And eventually rolling onto either your left or your right side. Using the top hand to press up to seated. Maybe your eyes stay closed for just a few more moments. Just sitting here in Sukhasana pose. Just take a nice deep inhale. And then just drop your chin to your chest on an exhale. And next inhale, sweep your right ear over to your right shoulder. Exhale, drop the chin to the chest. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. One more time each side. Inhale. Just that little neck side bend. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Exhale, chin to chest. Last time. Inhale, ear to shoulder. Exhale. Chin comes to the center. Just gently lift your head. And just notice here, we're going to close your eyes. I'll be quiet for a moment or two. Just see if anything has shifted in your mind or your body since we started our practice today. And very slowly bringing the palms together. Thank you very much to Maggie, Mila, and Sue for joining me in this virtual class today. The light in me sees the light in each one of you. Namaste.